Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week, are students satisfied with police presence on campus? We'll have the answer coming up.
UNC has the only dental school in North Carolina, but that could change in a few years. Good news for some rural residents.
In sports, it's official. Butch Davis is the new head coach of the Carolina football team. We'll profile the Heel's new top dog.
Meteorologist Rob Ellis is here with your Carolina Week 4-day forecast.
All that in an art studio where imagination comes to life. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
More than 6 months after the Pitt incident, campus safety is still on our minds. Good evening and welcome to the November 15th edition of Carolina Week. I'm Kate Schoen.
And I'm Alex Villarreal. Thanks for watching. Reporter Katie Klein has been looking into the numbers for our campus police force. She joins us now live from outside Carroll Hall. Katie, what did you find?
Alex, on Monday I spent almost 2 hours in the Pitt, which is arguably one of the busiest places on campus. And I never even saw one police officer, so I decided to talk to students to see what they thought of police presence on campus.
For many students, campus is a haven as they relax between classes in places like the Pitt.
I feel safe enough.
Well, I feel like campus itself is pretty safe.
Yet events like a former student driving an SUV into the center of campus last spring rattled that sense of security.
Sir, I just hit several people with the vehicle.
Less than 3 weeks ago, a UNC senior made headlines when he ran through the Pitt assaulting students before he was taken to UNC hospitals. It made freshman Megan Anderson wish there were more police on hand.
He attacked so many people before the police even got here and did anything about it, and I think that's really wrong.
Department of Public Safety spokesman Randy Young says there are at least 8 officers patrolling the campus at a given time.
Certainly the Pitt has a high level of activity, as would, say, 65,000 people in a football stadium.
The campus is divided into 4 areas. Officers consistently patrol the same place, so students are more likely to recognize them.
The officer is going to be more familiar with that area of campus, what the trends are, what the threats are, and what to be on the watch out for.
Larceny is by far the most prevalent crime on campus, with more than 400 reported last year alone. Some students still feel increased police presence would help.
I mean, I'm not saying we should live in like a military state where every 10 feet, but I mean, it's just nice to know that they're here.
One step DPS has taken to up visibility is to add officers on bicycles and an office in Rams Head.
We're not ubiquitous. The police call boxes aren't everywhere. We certainly are dependent upon members of the campus community.
And the campus community, in turn, is dependent on campus police.
They don't have to be super visible, but I would like to know that they're there. I mean, because just their general presence makes you feel safer.
And Alex, Randy Young told me that DPS is emphasizing what they call community-oriented policing. This includes a new program out of Rams Head parking deck called the Community Response Unit.
So Katie, what are the goals of this new response team?
It targets specific concerns such as larceny or pedestrian safety. So hopefully this will increase visibility of officers on campus.
Katie Klein reporting outside of Carroll. Thanks, Katie.
We've continued to track the campus safety barriers, or bollards, since Mohammed Taheriazar drove through the Pitt in March, injuring 9 people. This week, the Department of Public Safety placed information stickers on the bollards. The stickers provide a phone number for you to call if the bollards are down. Although they have been in an upright position most of the past 2 weeks, they were down for days at a time earlier in the semester. UNC senior Andrew Gordon is glad to see the bollards up and the stickers in place.
I think it'll improve safety, especially with the Pitt incident last year. It definitely prevents cars from just driving up and being places where they're not supposed to be.
If you see a bollard down, call 962-3456. That's 962-3456.
Health officials have reported 9 cases of E. coli in Chapel Hill in the past 2 weeks. Reporter Brendan Anderson shows you how to avoid getting sick from the bacteria.
You can get it from simply eating a hamburger. The E. coli bacteria made headlines by infecting 8 UNC students in 1 week. Health officials traced the source of the E. coli to food eaten at McAllister's Deli. These empty tables and chairs outside seem to directly show student concern. These full tables outside Lenoir show that students aren't concerned about the food there. UNC graduate Jason McDaniel says he'll still eat at Lenoir.
And so there's really a monopoly, on mid-campus as far as lunchtime is concerned. You really don't have that many choices. So I guess if I'm going to eat, I still will probably go to Lenoir, and I do still trust that they cook their meat.
Campus Health Director Mary Covington seems to agree.
You never say never, never say always, but it appears that, in these cases that there's at least a few of them who did not eat at Lenoir or did not eat at Carolina Dining.
This is a microscope photo of the E. coli bacteria found in the infected UNC students. Now, E. coli can cause stomach cramps and severe diarrhea, so be careful right now when you're eating meat and raw vegetables.
Along with choosing your food carefully, Covington says to wash your hands thoroughly.
By washing your hands thoroughly, I mean taking, warm soapy water and washing your hands and rubbing it and doing that for the length of time that it takes you to sing happy birthday twice.
Covington says if you take these precautions, you'll have a lowered chance of getting E. coli and spreading it to others. In Chapel Hill, I'm Brendan Anderson, Carolina Week.
If you think you have the symptoms associated with the infection, call Student Health or your family physician. Speaking of getting sick, have you gotten your flu shot? Medical personnel say you shouldn't wait until you start feeling sick to get one. The School of Public Health hosted a flu shot clinic on Monday evening. Volunteers handed out information about the flu virus, while nurses from Campus Health waited for students to come by and get the shot to protect themselves. This cooler was stocked with the influenza vaccine. Students paid $20 for the shot, and before they knew it, they were bandaged up and ready to go home. Staff nurse Kay Darnell says the reason for getting the shot is simple.
Because it's the best defense against the flu, and unless you have 2 weeks that you would like to stay in the bed and be sick, you should come and get a flu shot.
The university will have more clinics soon. On Monday, November 20th, and again on the 27th, you can get a flu shot at the Student Union between 1 and 5 p.m. Or you can make an appointment at Campus Health. That number is posted on our website, carolinaweek.org.
East Carolina University has proposed building a new dental school. Now, some people are worried about the prestige of UNC's dental school, which is currently the only one in the state. Justin Smith traveled east to see how the new school would affect residents and the UNC dental program. So, Justin, what did you find out?
Kate, a Hyde County tourism website states, take the road less traveled to a place where time seems to move a little slower. That slogan could be applied to the laid-back way of life here in Swan Quarter. It could also be applied to the residents' access to health care. Hyde County is one of 4 North Carolina counties without a dentist. If you need your car fixed in Swan Quarter, Pat Spencer can help you. He's the town's only mechanic. If you need your teeth fixed, you'll have to drive a while to see the closest dentist.
If we want any kind of work done, we go to Washington or Belhaven. Belhaven is probably 30 minutes from here, 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
Wayland Moore has to leave his job at Newman Seafood and drive more than an hour to get his teeth checked. He thinks many people in the area don't see a dentist at all.
A lot of these people in this county wear dentures because of that. They don't have nobody to go to help take care of their teeth.
But better dental health could be coming to remote areas like Swan Quarter. Last week, East Carolina University got the go-ahead to start a dental program. UNC Chapel Hill currently runs the state's only dental school. It will also receive money to increase enrollment and expand research facilities. Vice Dean Ken May doesn't think the creation of a school in Greenville will threaten Carolina's program.
I think we'll still see quality applicants here, and there should be quality applicants available for ECU.
ECU officials will recruit dental students with rural roots who are likely to return to communities like Swan Quarter after they graduate.
This is a poor county. A lot of people don't have a lot of money, and they're not going to want a high-priced dentist.
The state reimburses dentists who treat low-income patients on Medicaid, but president of the North Carolina Dental Society, Dr. Rex Card, says often doctors don't receive enough money to cover their costs. In addition to opening a new dental school, Card says the state must increase Medicaid funding to entice graduates to practice in underserved communities.
If they want to go into a rural area, they have to be able to make a living in order to go there.
ECU officials must now ask the state legislature for nearly $90 million to build the dental school, and it likely won't open until 2010. But still, last week's decision by the Board of Governors means the residents of Swan Quarter may be one step closer to better dental health. In Hyde County, I'm Justin Smith, Carolina Week.
Thanks, Justin. Proponents say there's enough need to support 2 quality dental programs in North Carolina.
Technicians at UNC's dental school could be getting an unwanted holiday break. Workers protested potential layoffs Wednesday afternoon outside South Building. They say UNC is laying off 17 dental technicians without cause. They're hoping to get the chancellor to approve a moratorium to give them a year's notice before the layoff takes effect.
Well, many of us painted pictures and sculpted clay in art class when we were young.
This type of creative outlet is important for every child. Coming up, we'll take you to an art studio where imagination is key and creativity opens the door.
Global warming. Some say irreversible consequences are 30 years away. 30 years? That won't affect me.
Passing gas can be deadly.
Whoa, oh, something's funky.
Passing gas releases a plume of toxic vapors,
Oh, honey, not in the car.
like ammonia and hydrogen cyanide,
Oh,
and lethal poisons that can linger even when windows are open. Kids shouldn't be exposed to secondhand smoke. Don't pass gas, take it outside.
A special art studio in Durham lets kids escape into a world of creativity and self-expression. Reporter Janelle Henry joins us now with that story. Janelle?
Seesaw Studios uses art to teach life lessons and show kids they can be anything they want to be. I went to Seesaw to see how these kids interact with one another and use art to tell their life stories.
A professional artist,
A musician,
screen printing, fashion design. Yeah.
Welcome to Seesaw Studios, where the possibilities are endless and the dreams are as fresh as the paint. This studio allows students to make their artistic visions a reality. Just check out what these kids have to offer. Posters, pillows, their own t-shirt designs. There's just no telling where their creativity draws the line. For these students, art comes in many forms.
You know, we learn about the artist struggle, early. So.
Many of the students come from low-income families, so Seesaw Studio provides a safe and affordable place for them to express themselves. But Executive Director Pat Hoffman says the studio is more than just a creative outlet for them.
Learning skills to develop careers and handle themselves professionally in the real world, so that they have more preparation than they ever would have got just going to school.
Student Julia Sue can already see positive changes in herself.
I'm very self-conscious about letting my voice be heard, and Seesaw is helping me sort of come out of that little shell and stop being as shy as I am.
And she's not alone. The students aren't keeping their feelings about the program bottled up. So what does Seesaw give them?
Confidence.
It's a safe environment.
It's just fun. I like the people and everything we work on.
I can express myself.
Well, it seems that the writing, or rather the drawing, is on the wall. You can see the banners the students made in West Village in Durham. In the studio, I'm Janelle Henry, Carolina Week.
Thanks, Janelle. To learn more about Seesaw Studios or even register for a class, check out our website, carolinaweek.org.
Students at one Chapel Hill school get a taste of the world without having to go outside our borders. Smith Middle School is currently celebrating Global Connections Week, a time for students and teachers to experience different cultures. The theme for the week, celebrating gifts of light, love, and leadership, aims to teach students about international traditions, including dancing, poetry, and costumes. Throughout the week, each classroom will work on various projects and decorate a side of this pyramid. 8th grader Jenny Liu says she enjoys learning about the world.
I never really thought much about different cultures and how they celebrate different things, but now that since I've become involved with Global Connections, my mind has been open to these things, and I now think about such things.
On Thursday, the school will host a cultural exhibit which will include a celebration of the Chinese New Year.
We're now joined by meteorologist Rob Ellis. Hi, Rob.
How are you?
Very well. Well, it's been a beautiful week so far. What have we got to look forward to?
Well, we've got some changes, we've got some showers, and then things are going to clear up. Could be a dicey next couple of days. It's been unusually warm in the past couple of days. It's very unlike our normal temperatures for November. But will the fall forecast finally come into focus as the week finishes out? I'll have your answer coming up after the break.
Massive heat waves. Heat waves. Severe droughts. Tick, tick. Tick, tick. Devastating hurricanes. Tick, tick. Tick, tick. Tick, tick. Tick. Our future is up to you. Tick. Go to fightglobalwarming.com while there's still time.
Fruit. What a tasty treat. Fruits packed with potassium and other nutrients can help keep your heart pumping strong during the game, and they give you energy back so you can take on the next activity. Can your food do that? Run, throw, think, eat better. Find out more at smallstep.gov.
Well, welcome back to Carolina Week. We have some changes coming in the form of a very powerful system. We'll show you that in just a moment. Here's the headline. Starting out, some rain advancing. That's going to come along with that system, and some dramatic changes, even some severe weather. So for Thursday, we may even see a little bit of thunder. Looks like the timing on that is going to be Wednesday evening and into Thursday. Clearing and cooler for the weekend. So after we get rid of all this, it looks like things are going to begin to shape up very nicely. Let's take a look at the big picture as we usually do. Look at this system. As a meteorologist, this looks great to me because we have this little curly Q here, and you can really see the well-defined cold front down to the south. A little bit closer, we'll zoom into the southeast here. A lot of southerly flow coming up ahead of this. There is a little bit of a warm front. That southerly flow going to bring us some very warm temperatures over the next several days or so. Let's talk about radar because we do have some showers on radar here. In fact, some very powerful storms. Look at all of this down in Alabama and Georgia. All this is going to be moving towards North Carolina in advance of this cold front, I should say. This is going to be moving into North Carolina, as I said, over the next 24 to, we'll say, 36 hours or so. And taking a look at our forecast as far as the surface maps, here's what's going to happen. We'll start out, we have that low, here's the cold front, a little bit of a warm front, all of this mess really moving in our direction. A little bit closer, we'll be able to see that this cold front, as it does approach, now back behind this, we do have some air, a little bit of a warm front. That warm front is going to advance. Now, as we go, right now, that's what it looks like here. We have some rain showers on the way. They're not quite into North Carolina yet, but as we go through the next 12 hours or so, we'll say Wednesday evening, it looks like that cold front makes a little bit more of an advance as that warm front begins to pull up to the south. That means we're going to be in that what we call a warm sector. That means it's going to be very warm outside as the southerly flow begins to move into North Carolina. But then things are going to change because it probably looks like a Thursday as this cold front advances. There's the cold front moving into North Carolina. It's going to do a couple of things. The temperatures are really going to drop, and then we're going to see some clearing. Back behind that, even some snow. And then once we get all of this through, it looks like Thursday evening, we will see all of this move out, and then we'll begin to clear up. So as far as your 4-day forecast, here's how it's shaping up. Things are going to be starting off with some rain. That should start Wednesday evening and into Thursday. Don't be surprised if you hear a rumble of thunder out there. 66 degrees. Temperatures in the afternoon not really going to drop a whole lot, but 58 is going to feel a lot cooler than what it was. The rest of the week looks like temperatures in the 50s with overnight lows into the 30s. In fact, even approaching freezing by Saturday and Sunday, so a chilly weekend and a potential for some severe weather, maybe an isolated thunderstorm here and there Thursday morning.
Well, it looks like it's going to be crazy for the next few days.
It'll be interesting.
Thank you, Rob.
Sportscaster Brandon Curry joins us now. Brandon, the women's soccer team had the #1 seed in the NCAA tournament.
They did, and that meant they hosted the NCAA tournament here at Chapel Hill. Coming up in sports, the women's soccer team has never lost a game in the first or second round of the NCAA play. Would that streak continue? Come on, of course it would. This is Carolina women's soccer, for crying out loud. We'll have all the fireworks coming up.
Impossible. When you open a book, you can explore new lands, meet new friends, and discover new adventures. There are amazing possibilities when you open your mind to reading. You can log onto the Library of Congress website and let the journey begin.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle.
The odds of a child being in a Broadway show are 1 in 11,000. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 166. The odds say it's time to listen. To learn the signs of autism, visit autismspeaks.org.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Brandon Curry. On Monday, the athletics department finally confirmed the world's worst kept secret. Butch Davis will be the head coach of UNC football next year. The former University of Miami and Cleveland Browns head coach will be coming to Chapel Hill after compiling a 51-20 record at Miami and a 24-35 record with the Browns. He led the Hurricanes to an 8-3 record during his first season in Coral Gables and took the Canes to 4 bowl games between 1995 and 2000, including the 2000 Sugar Bowl. The Tar Heels faced the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in the 2006 homecoming game. Georgia Tech got on board early with this 3-yard touchdown run. In response, quarterback Joe Daly threw 2 interceptions, both within 20 yards of a Carolina touchdown. The Yellow Jackets flew away with a 7-0 win. After the game, wide receiver Jesse Holley said simple math explains this Tar Heel loss.
2 interceptions, in the red zone. You can't ask for nothing better than that. That's 14 points. 14 is more than 7. If we have 14 points and they have 7, who wins?
While the football team struggled to score points, the men's basketball team couldn't stop. Carolina breezed through Pfeiffer University on Saturday night, winning 140-101. The Tar Heels showed off their skills on the court against the Falcons. Tyler Hansbrough was the top scorer. He isn't afraid to fight for the ball, and when he gets it, the other team needs to look out. Freshman Wayne Ellington is another huge threat the Heels have this year. Returning sophomore Danny Green is stepping up his game to try to stay ahead of those amazing freshmen. For most of the game, UNC kept its competitive edge with blocks and steals, but during the last 3 minutes and 59 seconds, UNC lost focus and Pfeiffer scored 28 points, cutting the Heels' lead to 39. Coach Roy Williams was not happy with the final stretch. But Coach Williams was definitely happy with the Heels' first regular season game on Tuesday. Carolina steamrolled Sacred Heart 103-81 behind 29 points from preseason All-American Tyler Hansbrough. The Heels advanced to the next round of the NIT season tip-off against Winthrop Wednesday at 7. It's not only the men's basketball team that has some amazing young players this year, the women do too. In Sunday night's game against Winston-Salem State University, the teams battled beneath the baskets. Rashonda McCants was the leading scorer with 16 points against the Rams. McCants is only a sophomore, so the Heels have to look forward to many more high-scoring games from her. A hamstring pull kept Ivory Latta from scoring in double figures for the first time in almost a year, but she should be okay for the rest of the season. Freshman Jessica Breland had a double-double with 10 rebounds and 13 points. Senior Camille Little led by example and also had a double-double. The women's soccer team is gunning for a 19th national title. Last week, the Heels hosted the first and second round of the NCAA tournament. Early first half, Yael Averbush passes to number 98, Tobin Keith. Gaining control of it, she gets fouled by UNCA. number 76, Allie Hawkins, takes the kick and puts it to the lower left side. UNC is now up 1-0. Elizabeth Guest dribbling. She also gets fouled by UNCA. Averbush is going to take the penalty kick for her, and it flies like a majestic eagle right past the goalie, now 2-0. She would score again. UNC is now up 3-0 as we come to Heather O'Reilly taking this corner kick with Yael Averbush giving it just what it needs to get in. That's a hat trick for her tonight, tying a record for UNC. Fast forward to second round versus Navy. Heather O'Reilly driving, takes the shot, but Navy with the amazing save. O'Reilly again with the ball now. She's gaining control of it. She crosses to Whitney Engen, who dots the exclamation point with this header. Head coach Anson Dorrance said that except for the final score, he was rooting for Navy to do well.
This is a perilous period in American military history with all our different challenges, and these are women that have selected to possibly die for their country.
You know, with all the excitement with soccer and basketball, it's easy to forget that we have soldiers all around the world risking their lives for us.
Definitely, and we're very thankful for them. Thank you very much, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon. Well, the holidays are right around the corner, which means it's time to start shopping.
Coming up, we'll show you a place full of gifts that reflect North Carolina's Southern charm.
Pants, pants, pants. I am folding the pants. The pants are long. Do they go on my head? Do they? Do the pants go on my head? No. They go on.
Everyday moments can become teaching moments because learning starts long before school does. Give your child the start they need at bornlearning.org.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Today, Chapel Hill might feel a little more cosmopolitan than country.
But as reporter Julia Meyer shows us, one landmark store still holds on to its Southern roots.
We all think of the old well as a classic icon for Chapel Hill. But would you say the same thing about this hay wagon? Or how about this bundle of corn? Probably not, but you don't have to travel to the country to see these items. You can find them right here in Chapel Hill at Patterson's Mill Country Store. Located just off Farrington Road, the store is modeled after an original trading post which opened in the 1870s. Although this building might have a turn-of-the-century air, John and Elsie Booker built it in 1973. Their daughter-in-law, Gail Booker, now owns the store with her husband. She explains why Patterson's Mill has been so important to her family.
Patterson's Mill was started by my mother and father-in-law, and they really built the store and started the store to house their collections of North Carolina memorabilia and pharmaceutical items. My mother-in-law was a pharmacist and graduated from UNC in 1945.
Visitors to the store have the opportunity to view Elsie Booker's nationally recognized pharmaceutical collection, as well as an exact replica of a 20th century doctor's office. While the store's antique collections are not for sale, you can purchase any number of handcrafted items like these painted eggs, as well as books, vintage cloth, and prize-winning preserves. Patterson's Mill has all kinds of unique gifts, but it's also a great place to shop for your Christmas decorations, if you're interested in beating the holiday rush. Patterson's Mill is open Tuesday through Sunday, and getting a taste of the past is free. In Chapel Hill, I'm Julia Meyer, Carolina Week.
Very neat stuff. Well, I'm now inspired to finally get started on my Christmas shopping.
I know, me too. I always happen to find myself right in the middle of the Christmas rush,
So we've got some rain looking in the next couple days?
Yeah, it looks like some rainfall in the forecast, and it looks like we'll see that into Thursday, and then things should be clearing up for a nice but a chilly weekend.
All right. Well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Good night.